So even with old equipment, North Korea is drawing an attention of the world to new heights, and its latest move, putting 2 missiles on launchers, is raising tensions on the Korean peninsula. Let's bring in Congressman Adam Schiff from California. He's on the House Intelligence Committee. Good to see you. And let's also bring in retired U.S. Army General James Spider Marks. General Marks, good to see you as well.
Hi, Fred.
All right, so General, let me begin with you. You know, if North Korea does have missiles loaded, what kind of capability do we believe they actually have?
Well, beyond the 2 missiles that we've seen that have been moved to the East Coast, as Tom Foreman just laid out, they have a very large military. Again, quantity has a quality all of its own. And they've demonstrated their desire to maintain that over the course of the years in terms of their training, in terms of their posturing. So this is a very capable military. Certainly it has its problems, and those have been laid out in front of us. The challenge that we have is that the threat is a combination of capabilities and intentions, and we have a very bad track record of penetrating the regime and fully understanding what their intentions are.
And is it your belief that the capabilities of their missiles, perhaps in terms of threats, it could potentially reach Japan, could potentially, of course, South Korea, and could potentially, strike Guam at, I guess that would be the greatest distance, about 2,500 miles, that
right.
What they have is capable of? Is that still the case?
Oh, sure. No, they can reach those locations. They've fired missiles before that have sailed over Japan. None of those have been a strategic surprise. We saw all the precursors. We had all the indicators of what was happening when those events occurred. The concern is the combination of all the factors right now, which is new leader in the South being tested, new leader in the North who's probably 29 years old, his relationship with the military, their desire to demonstrate their loyalty to him. Look, being in the military in North Korea is a combination of mostly the communist alignment as opposed to the competence, but these are in fact professional soldiers, and so they want to make sure that they're embracing him and that he gets a sense that he's not at risk as well. So it's a very complicated situation. Again, it gets to reading the indicators, and right now they've not increased their readiness. They've been very, very bellicose. That's a problem.
So it sounds like some real psychology has to be inserted into any kind of efforts of diplomacy as well, Congressman. I mean, you've already stated, this week that the actions of Kim Jong-un have reached new heights of irresponsibility. And if this is the case of a new leader in the North that's really just kind of puffing his chest, do you believe that the U.S. can do really anything to allay the fears that the South may have, or even Japan, or even we may have?
Well, I think we are doing the right thing. We're obviously protecting ourselves and protecting our allies. We're trying to tamp down the tensions because the biggest danger is the danger of miscalculation. That Kim Jong-un, it's one thing to use bellicose rhetoric, but it's another when he finds the need, if he finds the need to do more than that. And in the past, just a couple of years ago, they did fire artillery and kill South Koreans. They did sink a South Korean ship. The South was, really quite restrained in its response to that, and the North cannot expect that to happen again. And so there's a grave danger of miscalculation. I think one of the things that the U.S. can do, and this will be an important part of Secretary Kerry's visit to China, is get China to put pressure on North Korea. We don't have much direct influence over the North other than the preparations we're taking, but the North really does rely on China.
China has the leverage that no one else, no other country has.
I think that's true, and you could overstate even that leverage, but to the degree that any nation has leverage, it is China, and it does help prop up the North's failed economy with food, with fuel, and it's going to be very important. China wants this growing role on the world stage commensurate with its growing power and influence. Here's the opportunity to use that to really do what it can to pressure the North to step down this ratcheting escalation. As the General pointed out, they have a lot of artillery, they have a lot of weaponry, a lot of troops, and it may be that their weaponry is old, it may be they have poor logistics, but they certainly have enough artillery to devastate Seoul. So there are some very significant risks here, and perhaps what may happen, they fire one of these missiles. If it lands harmlessly in the sea and that allows the North Korean leader to somehow save face, maybe we can step down from this. But the risk that a missile hits the South or hits Japan, there would be serious reprisals, and it would be a terrible miscalculation.
Congressman Adam Schiff, thanks so much, and U.S. Army General James Spider Marks. Good to see both of you gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.